So I'm not sure what I was expecting from this movie, but I at least thought it was going to be way better than this, because this is just ass. Okay, it's just a Disney remake. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's basically the same thing. So the story is basically the same, like war is in China, Mulan's father gets drafted, but then she cuts off her hair or whatever, and then she goes off and fights in his stead. Except that it's boring as hell. So before I start with everything else, let me just say that this movie can be very beautiful at times, but at other times, there's a big oof. Because the CGI and the green screen in this movie is not exactly the greatest, if you catch my drift. So, as you probably already know, there is no Mushu. Eddie Murphy. He's not in the movie. They replace him with this big dumbass bird that doesn't even talk. And in my opinion, this was a huge mistake. I mean, I know people don't like Mushu for whatever reason, and I think they're dumb. But for me, Mushu was the life of the original Mulan. So him not being here just makes it almost intolerable to watch. Also, there is zero music in this movie. And remember how iconic the songs were from the original, like I'll Make a Man Out of You or stuff like that? Where is it? This movie is nothing, just people just walking around with crappy fight scenes. My goodness. And all those cool supporting characters, the tall dude, the short guy, the fat man, none of them are here. And there's zero humor. There's no humor in this movie. They for some reason thought that it was a great idea just to make this movie super serious, and it just turned out boring as hell. I cannot believe it. They literally remade this movie just like it was The Lion King, but every decision that they made to change something was worse. Literally every single one. And that is baffling to me. Now, if you're wondering, what about the villain? Because, the villain in the original was kind of boring. I thought that improving the villain would have been a pretty easy thing to do. But they even failed at that. Because I know in the original, he wasn't much of a character. He just looked hella scary, and that was basically it. But, at least he was intimidating in the original. In this one, he's just a dude. Just some guy. And that's really about it, which is, a shame. Oh, and before I forget, so Shan Yu's bird, the falcon thing that was flying around screeching throughout the original, it turns out that in this version, the new one, it's not even the bird. It's just this one random-ass witch woman. And she, for some reason, talks to Mulan at one point, and then she decides to be a good guy. And then at the end of the movie, she literally dives in front of an arrow to protect Mulan, who she had literally one conversation with, and then she dies, because girl power, I guess. This is so stupid. Well, you might be saying, well, but what about the fight scenes? Fight scenes have to be great. Here's the thing about the fight scenes. They're okay. They're not good, and they're not terrible. It doesn't look like Jason Bourne, and, for that I'm kind of thankful for. However, the problem with them is that they're way too over-edited, in my opinion. What I mean by that is just everything's too fast. You see the horses, they're zooming past you 100 miles per hour. That's not very realistic, which is what I think they were trying to go for, but I don't know anymore. And it's just too fast. And, I don't know, there's a lot of movies that did this a whole lot better. If they want the whole wushu route, Hidden Tiger something Dragon or whatever that movie is called, that would have been fine with me. I actually really like that movie, even though I don't remember the title. If they did that, I would have been fine with it. However, another thing, this was supposed to be a war movie. There was, and I counted, 0 blood. Where's the blood at, Disney? Nobody dies. They're just fighting with blunt swords, apparently. Because, there's literally 0 blood. And also, this is a very weird point to make, but everybody speaks English in this very Chinese movie, which is what? Why is everybody speaking English? Oh, let's also talk about Mulan, because she is very problematic in this movie. What I mean by that is the fact that, for one, she is way too perfect in this movie. So you know how in the original Mulan she could literally do nothing and she had to cheat in order to like get her like marriage license or whatever? And then when she went off to fight or to train, she was bad at that too. So she had to use her brain to like survive and stuff, to fight. Well, not in this one, because in this one, apparently she knows martial arts. She's a martial arts master. She could do all this flippy stuff. And she is not vulnerable not once in this entire movie. And you know how there's like these scenes of her being vulnerable. Like she's, when she fails with the matchmaker, right? And she comes home and she sings the song about being true to herself, you know? And it was very emotional, and you kind of get the struggle of what she's going through. Yeah, none of that is in this movie. Literally none of it. What happens is they go to a matchmaker, you know, the stuff happens, and then literally right after that is the scene where the dudes come to give the draft to Mulan's dad. And after that, you know how there's like the scene of Mulan getting ready, she like cuts off her hair, and you know it's very dramatic. Yeah, none of that is in this movie either. They just like cut right past that. And Mulan is a very boring character in this movie. She literally goes through nothing. And as far as I can tell, her arc is like girl power or something. It's so stupid. What is the point of all this? Mulan is like one of my favorite Disney movies and just ruined it. And I'm just sad and angry at the same time. Oh, also, before I forget, Mulan has superpowers in this movie. She like straight up like has like Dragon Ball Z powers, apparently. It is just, I don't know. They said it was going to be more realistic, but like they took out Mushu and they gave Mulan powers. So what the hell do I know? And also, here we talk about what kind of bullshit is this that I have to pay $30 extra to watch this on my TV? Not even movie theater, just on my own TV. What in the hell, Disney? This is some nonsense. You gotta stop, Disney. Get your crap together. This is ridiculous.